What does your wife actually need from you as a leader? Let's dive in. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Patros Podcast, where we're chasing healthy biblical masculinity. And if you're watching this, it's likely because you're on that same journey. My name is Alan. This is Jeff Ford, CEO of Man Up and Go. And also, one of his greatest titles is co-host of the Patros Podcast.
One of my greatest titles. So when I go around telling people about...
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
Yeah. What are we talking about today, Alan?
So we're diving into that same topic about what it means to lead our wives and to serve our wives as just biblical men.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think there's a lot of places that we could start.
Yeah.
But we want to start with the idea of sacrifice. I think we hear the word sacrifice, we don't really understand it like the biblical writer would have understood it.
Yeah.
Right? Because in the Old Testament, sacrifice was a normal part of life.
Yeah.
They were killing animals all over the place, like personal animals, taking them by the head and cutting their throats with a knife. Like it was a bloody, gory, like ordeal, right?
Yeah.
But God wanted their best. Like he was asking for their best lamb or their best, goat or their best bull or whatever. Like he was asking for their very best. And then that sacrifice was something that was so intimate. I think it was an intimate ordeal because if you think about the Passover lamb in the Old Testament, they lived with the Passover lamb, right? Like they literally brought the lamb into their home.
This is like your family.
It's like the pet.
Yeah.
And then you had to go and sacrifice that. So this thing that you love so much, and God, Yahweh, was saying, I know that you love that, but do you love me as much? And so when I think about, like, for us, sacrifice is not something that we really, I think, fully understand. And yet we do get the idea of it. If you've ever had somebody who served in the armed forces, man, they will tell you about sacrifice. They will tell you about what it means to lose somebody who is literally gave their all. What's that thing? Some gave all gave some gave all. Meaning I gave everything that I had. Which is my life.
The ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah. So what does it mean to sacrifice? I know you had a verse you were going to pull up and read for us and just kind of set the stage. And this is from Philippians 2. And it's really kind of
the heartbeat of sacrifice.
Man, the heartbeat of, I would say, Christianity because of Christ's sacrifice.
Yeah. And it's what a biblical healthy motivation for sacrifice is. Because sometimes we look at sacrifice and we're like, oh, you did that because you're going to get a highlight reel out of it. But this is what it should come from. And it says, do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others.
And then it goes on like
later have
to,
this.
to,
you want me to say it?
Well, I mean,
okay.
Yeah, why not, man? It's scripture.
Yeah. Well, it provides the context, right? So have this mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ Jesus, who though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men, and being found in human form, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross.
Yeah, so there it is. Like there is the ultimate sacrifice, right? The ultimate sacrifice he gave was his life. But I think sometimes it is easier to think about being a martyr and dying like that than it is to actually live that out.
Sacrificially live.
Yeah, sacrificially live. That's a good way to put it. So what does that look like in your marriage, Alan, to sacrificially live?
Man, I think I want to make sure that I say what my wife would agree with. But I genuinely think what I've worked on recently is to hear what her take is, and to not always what's the you're the vocab expert, like concede to concede to that sometimes. Even if it's against what my inclinations are. And that's hard for men. Very difficult for me. My wife would say I have ODD, oppositional defiance disorder. Sometimes, like we'll be talking about a topic. She'll know that I want something, and the second she says she wants that, my inclination is the opposite.
Oh yeah, I don't want that anymore.
And she's like, "Why does that happen?" And I was like, "I have no idea. I just can't help it." my brain goes straight to like, oh, is it a good idea now?
Yeah.
And so I've learned to concede to that because that's frustrating, I'm sure, for a wife to be like, is my take valuable? So right now we're looking for a home to live in March. And usually for the last 4 years, I've been the one that's taken the lead on that and to rent. And she's for like 2 or 3 weeks, she was looking, she found a home that she really likes. And I've just been like, man, houses in Lakeland for the price that they're in Pinellas County, you get a 5.3 for cheaper than what you get a 3.2. But she's like, we can't do that. This is the house. This is what I believe like where we're supposed to be. And I was like, all right, let's do it. So that's been sacrificially. It's been like dying to my pride, maybe.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I think for us, it's mental load. At least recently, one of the things I didn't understand. I'm still trying to understand from a woman's perspective is the mental load that she has, because she is thinking about all the things that I'm not thinking about, whether it's kids or schedules or appointments, doctors, school things, like all of that is going on in her brain, and I'm not absorbing any of that, right? She's thinking about, what am I going to make for dinner? Even if like I'm like, don't worry about dinner. She's like, if you don't tell me what we're going to have, I'm still thinking about it, even if you're telling me not to worry about it.
Yeah.
So reducing the mental load is a way that I can humble myself and die to like, because I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not helpful for her.
But she cares.
She cares about it.
You might not care, but she cares.
Yeah. And because she cares about it,
you have to care.
I have to care. And I have to like reduce some of that like strain on her to say, hey, let me. And it's so crazy too. I think men can hopefully relate to this. Husbands can relate to this. Was like, you're thinking about this. Why are you thinking about these things? That like that's my natural inclination is like, okay, you have this, and this. There's 4 things there. Like, just do one, then do the other, then do like this. Not a big deal, but there's this anxiety and a tension there that rises up within her to be able to get all these things done. And she is not alone. I mean, I have learned that this is a common female experience. Yes. And so what is our role in that? We can reduce mental load, fellas, if we like just go to her and be like, all right, tell me what's on your brain right now. I can't read it. So tell me what's on your brain. Yeah. Is there any of that I can alleviate? And I think if we consistently do that, not just like,
once in a while. When she's redlining and she's on E.
Yeah, she's on E, because that's where we make bad decisions, right? Like that's where we make poor decisions. We might blow up. We might escape. We might, if you look, whatever your go-to is, if it's porn, that's if it's drinking, that might be that. If it's escapism, maybe you're just gone, you're aloof. If it's depression, or maybe you're just like, man, I'm just going to let myself be depressed and let my mind, and all of that is unhealthy. We want to try to like keep, I always say this, but like keep in the middle, like not swing the pendulum. Yeah. Just stay in the middle with our wives. And I think for us right now, that's the thing that I'm trying to do to lead sacrificially.
Well, if we're being honest, like we'll treat our cars or our things the way that our wives desire for us to treat them. Yeah. I'm not a things guy, but I know that most guys are things people, right? Like,
we're not a things guy.
Yeah, you're not.
We're not qualified to talk about this.
But a lot of guys are. Like, I know a lot of guys that if I hit them up on a Saturday morning, they're like, I'm detailing my car for the next 4 hours, or I'm working on my brakes, or like, and they just, maintenance of things that they love is highly important to them. Yeah. And yet maintenance of our wives, to maintain their health, to maintain like they're giving us like service engine soon, and then we're just like, we're just gonna keep going.
We can make it another 100 miles
until the thing's broken down on the side of the road.
Yeah, that's great.
And really, we need to be thinking through, okay, how does she need me to love her? Where do I need to sacrifice so that she can be loved? And what's doable right now? Because sometimes some of it's not doable. Yeah. But that we prioritize her rest.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, prioritizing her rest, helping her without being asked. I think sometimes we're like, well, just tell me what you want. And how many times your wife's like, I want you to know what I'm thinking. And you're like, I can't.
A lot of women end up saying like, I don't need another kid.
Correct.
And but sometimes for us, we're like, to be fair, you have very specific ways you like things. It's hard for me to.
And I legit don't know.
And if I do it, you're gonna be more upset.
Yeah.
So just tell me how you want. So there is some movement. I know some guys are gonna be frustrated at this. So I get you.
There's a yin and a yang to it. Like it takes two to tango, as like my therapist used to say. And it's like, but
your part.
But you have to do your part. And I think that if you help without being asked and you do it wrong, and then don't get defensive. Yeah. So she comes at you, you're because that's what we want to do. Like, man, bro, I went out of my way, and now you're telling me I did it wrong.
Yeah.
So now come back, because you don't want to fight fire with fire. Come back and say, hey, like, just so you know, I was really trying to be helpful there. Yeah. I realized I did it the wrong way, but I want you to know my heart. Like, the intention of my heart was to serve you and to help you. If she fires back at you, then that's on her.
No, that's on her.
That is definitely on her. And so you probably got to remove yourself from the situation. Yeah. I would get frustrated at that point and start yelling.
Or you say, hey, what's our game plan for next time?
Yeah.
I did that, but honestly, I probably should have on the front end known you were frustrated, so you didn't tell me how you like it.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of this is just communication.
It's all communication. I think every disagreement and every broken relationship that has ever been had, this is my thing.
Lack of commitment.
No,
lack of communication.
It's a misunderstanding of expectations. Both parties had expectations. They both went into the same situation thinking that the other person had the same expectations. And when those expectations aren't met and you don't work through it, then that relationship can be broken.
Yeah.
So that's why communication is the antidote to misset expectations.
That's good.
Right? You've got to communicate. I always say this, you can't over communicate enough. And if you're not a talker, okay, but guess what? God spoke the universe into existence. Like, we use language to communicate. Yes, you can communicate with your body and everything else and by your actions. And I would say, but at some point you got to talk. You have to talk. And the best thing that you could do is be humble. You can apologize often. And you can take that like sacrificial, like, hey, what can I do for you? But I think protecting our wives. And then I would say, like, in the meantime, we need to carry that weight of the mental piece of it. Yeah. But also, we don't need to like get a gold medal for it either. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, when we do something that's sacrificial, that's what God wants us to do. We should be looking at it and go, well, crown me the victor please. Yeah. Like, no, it's like, no, like, that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. Now, words of affirmation are important. So yes, wives, it'd be great if you would say, hey, I saw what you did there. I know for me, that's what I look for.
Big for you.
Big for me. Like, and I don't need a lot, just a little thing that says, oh, she saw. Yeah. Right? I don't need the big ceremony, just a little word.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if she doesn't give it to me, are we satisfied enough in our relationship with Christ? Like, if I'm right vertically, then it's like, hey, if I'm mistreated horizontally, I can handle it.
Yeah.
So we don't need to demand applause, and then we also don't need to keep score. Like, don't be ticking them up.
Ticker, bro.
Look at all those things I did for you. And the problem is you're holding it in the back of your mind, right? Mentally, over here, man, I'm ahead. Boy, she's going to owe me. And then she's like, I don't owe you nothing.
Yeah.
But if she is a good, godly wife and she's trying to honor you as she should, then she will see it. But even when she doesn't, it just like, we tell our kids this all the time, like, someone else's behavior, like,
it's not your responsibility.
It's not your responsibility. You can dictate your response to anybody. Like, I'm not responsible for someone. I am responsible for my response.
Yeah.
Always. And so, like, I never let anyone else dictate my happiness. Like, no one else is supposed to The other day, something happened, just on a side note, and it was kind of like a professional thing. I won't get into it, but I was like, there was I would say 5 seconds of jealousy that creeped in. And that is not like me. Like, it really not like me. So I was like, whoa, where did that come from?
Yeah.
And I just immediately went back. I just snapped into it because I recognized it and said, no, Lord, man, I'm so happy for this individual. This is amazing. Because, like, who am I? Like, the kingdom is so big. Everybody has a role in it.
Yes.
So there has to be that trigger of like a Jesus perspective. Go, hey, man, how would Jesus handle this?
Yeah.
And Jesus would would not be, jealous of anybody, but he would be happy for somebody else. So I think that that's the other thing is, we need to be happy for our wives when sharing their successes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means we don't get what we want.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. And what you are doing as well as by leading sacrificially, you are also setting the tone of that becomes an expectation in the home. Your children watch how you do that. Yeah. So your daughter watches how you do that. That means that when she's looking for her mate one day, she's like, yo, you don't sacrifice. Like, it's all about you. I'm good. I'm good on you. Like, I saw my dad sacrifice for my mom, and I'm looking for somebody like that. Yeah. So, it's not just for your kids. It's obviously for the Lord, but you're discipling your family into what it looks like to walk like Jesus.
Yeah, that's right.
So the next thing would be basically, how do you show up in provision and protection?
Yeah, I mean, provision and protection is, we tend to think of it in terms of, I think, financially.
Yeah. We've said that,
which I think is okay, right? Yeah. But there are other ways to show up. But I will say, First Timothy talks about, I think it's First Timothy, that talks about, if you don't care for your family, you're worse than unbelievers.
Yeah. Your relatives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there is something about providing for them. And whatever that role is, because of our stature as men, I just always think this, women are always kind of at bay around men because they know if the stuff hits the fan, they're in trouble. And so I think if we could create a safe environment when it comes to protection and provision, and the thing that we can't do is compare ourselves to others. I would say, if you are in the comparison game, you are going to...
It's a losing game.
It's a losing game, bro. You're going to lose
The house always wins.
Always. You're betting on black and it's red. So I would say, cultivate that relationship with your wife where your posture is, God has given us enough.
Yeah.
Whatever, this is, and by the way, I'm speaking from experience. This happened recently because I've mentioned this before. All of our friends are, I think, better financially than us. We're in ministry. And so you have to guard against that. And she's pretty good about it, but she was in a moment of honesty the other day. She's just kind of man, it's not about this, but this, it just kind of bothers me. And I said, well, let's unpack that, right? Why does that bother you? Because you can feel when you're not providing enough, say, dreams and money for the family, that can be hard, emasculating for a man. But if we stay grounded in Christ and don't take offense to it, right? Yeah, that's the key. Is I'm not going to be offended by this because I know I'm doing. Now, if you're not doing what God wants you to do, that's where it gets hard. But if you're doing what God wants you to do, you're in the right spot. And so we just need to gently lead our wives through that and say, hey, I just start asking questions.
That's good.
The Socratic method, right? Just start asking questions. Well, why do you feel like that? What was the trigger for that? Yeah. What is the ultimate thing that you feel like you're missing? And then, she worked through it, and she's like, "Yeah, this is dumb." You know what I mean? She worked through it, but we have those moments, and we got to be able to lead there.
Yeah, yeah. I'd say that we've had similar conversations, where even sometimes when you see certain people flourishing and they don't really use their leisure time for Jesus. It's all about, self. Yeah. And you see it and you're like, why does it look like they're flourishing? Why does it look like, and then we're over here trying our best to just give everything we got to Jesus and being able to lead my wife. And she's good at it too. But she's even said that, I've led well in this area. Being able to have an eternal thing where it's hey, we got all eternity to rest well. Yeah. And that's what we push for. We don't push for the luxuries and leisures of the current day. Yeah. That's not the scriptures don't tell us to do that. Yeah. The scriptures say put your treasures in heaven, to give it all now. Yeah. And so my goal is for my family, and I told her this the other day, if I rent a home for the rest of our lives and our children know Jesus, I will have success more than anybody that has a real estate kingdom or whatever, Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And I would say too, read the Psalms. Yeah. In the Psalms, you have over and over, why are the wicked flourishing? Yeah. why am I like not seeing, like it's all over the Psalms. I mean, David, Asaph, like doesn't matter. They're like all the men who wrote the Psalms experienced the same thing. So if you haven't experienced that, I would question you. Yeah. Like honestly, I would question you a little bit to say like, why are the wicked prospering? Why, so just know that if we're walking in Christ, we're walking and like,
and people don't always have as much peace, or they don't feel the, like what you think the net return or net positive return of having the finances or having the luxuries. The peace isn't a high return in that area. Yeah. Like there is still much turmoil, much drive for success, much like it's when we compare, sometimes we don't have a full picture, and then we end up not realizing like, man, we're providing enough by providing Jesus.
I would say more than enough.
Yeah.
It's all about a spiritual, to your point, an eternal perspective. So, all right. Lastly, showing up physically and affectionately. Now we're going to do another podcast on some of this because it's just too.
We should have the sex talk sometime.
It's just too deep. But when it comes to intimacy, in 1 Corinthians 7, there's a passage in the first part of that. So if you want to go read it, where it talks about like how you kind of like control your bodies, and Paul is basically saying, make sure y'all don't like deprive each other, because what can happen is all the bad stuff. And so unless you've agreed upon it and you go away to pray, right?
I'm gonna read it for y'all. The husband should give to his wife her conjugal rights, and likewise the wife to her husband, for the wife does not have authority over her own body. I know that's hard for y'all to hear. I'm going to say it again, but I'm going to say it to both. For the wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. Likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. Do not deprive one another, except perhaps by agreement for a limited time. Now that's big. That's conversation that you have to have. That you may devote yourselves to prayer, but then come together again, so that Satan may not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. Now, let me be very clear. This does not give you a right to abuse. This does not give you a right to do anything that is, harming each other. Yeah. It's all about you guys loving each other. The ownership is out of love.
Well, the husband doesn't have a right to his body. So as a husband, you have to think, I don't have
a right to my own body.
I don't have a right to my body, and I don't have a right to her body.
Yeah.
And then the wife is thinking, I don't have a right to my body. I don't have a right to his body. If both are thinking that way, then
it's about, what are your needs?
Yeah.
Good.
It's all like the whole rights thing is, I don't know.
It's out the window on this.
It kind of drives me crazy because I'm like, who are you like to say that you have rights,
Yeah.
But we live sometimes like I deserve this, or I have earned this, or, there's been times where there's been like, sections of, say, not a lot of intimacy in the marriage, right? You go through periods and it's easy for us to justify going to pornography. Yeah. It is easy for us to justify going to an emotional connection to another woman, because we're saying, like, I'm not getting what I need. And I would say need is kind of a weird word there, but we do need it in some regard. That's how God created us.
Part of
But we have to guard against that, and instead of like, because what the response often is, if my wife isn't physically like meeting my needs, I'm going to
go somewhere
else because I need this. And I would say that's the time when you have to lean in, right? Like you have to lean in, and you have to initiate, whatever those things are. And I found it is almost never like about physical romance. It is always about something else. Like the romance begins in the kitchen. The romance begins in the yard. The romance begins in hanging that thing she wanted you to put up, or that picture frame, or that, broken, whatever, leaky faucet. That's where the romance begins. And I'm like, man, this is garbage. But if we don't do that stuff, it doesn't always then lead, like, you know?
Yeah. I think it's often said that like men are like microwaves, women are like ovens, or something like that.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah. Or it's just that it's for them, the intimacy or the foreplay is really what you do or what you say throughout the day versus just like, hey, I'm ready.
And that's the leadership that we need to be putting forward as men when it comes to like our physicality and affection. And hey, by the way, it's okay to like cuddle with your wife and not expect anything else. I know it's hard to believe.
I want to say.
I know it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I always live this out the best, but it is true.
Like, what do you mean our pants are still on?
Like this is my favorite statement from my wife, get in bed. And I'm like, hey, what if we just get naked and see what happens? And she's like, really? That's your
That's your line? That's hilarious. Bro, I love that line. That's crazy.
Like, we could just cuddle, but like, we don't know what's going to happen. And she's just looking at me like, you're a freaking idiot. But you know what? It makes her laugh. And like, it hardly ever is good for me in that situation, but it makes her laugh and it warms us up or whatever.
That's hilarious.
So like, I think that we have to be okay with that though. And I think the biggest thing, and we're going to have another podcast on this for sure, but we have got to guard against pornography. It is so pervasive. It is so, and any man who says he doesn't struggle with it is lying. And even if it's not
every man, there's some men.
There's some men.
There's some men out there.
I bet there's not many men. At least like they may be going through a good spell, but to say that they have never struggled with it.
Never is,
You know what I mean? Like they may be going through a good spell, but you know, here's what I've seen. I've gone through periods, years and years of like success. And then I'll encounter like
you're like, oh no.
Like, like a 3-month spell where it's like, I'm caught off guard and it's like hammering me from every direction. And I'm like, and my spirit genuinely does not want it. I don't want to be, and I'm not looking for it, but something presents itself. And that's where we have to be, you know, on guard. We have to be on guard so much. So that's something we'll talk about. I think maybe more in depth at another time, but as we're talking about, you know, leading our wives and being affectionate, let's find our affection in the wife of our youth, as the scriptures talk about.
That's so good. And it's knowing like, how do our wives feel affection, right? Alexis, I'm not sure if we've talked about this on the pod, but recently she told me like, you haven't been touching me as much. And I was like, I mean, I tried. And then you kind of were like, I'm overstimulated right now. So I don't want to be rejected. So I told her, I was like, I was like, I don't want to be rejected. So that's why I haven't been approaching you. And then she was like, well, when you approach me, I'm in movement of the next thing I have to do either with the kids or the house. And you're trying to hug me like straight on, which breaks my pattern. So she was like, maybe if I'm like doing the dishes, could you just hug me from behind? I was like, that's a little tough. But she was like, could you just show me affection without breaking my pattern of what I'm trying to do? But I know that you like are there and you can ground me for a second. So she was able to communicate exactly what she needs from me. And I've been doing that now. And I was like, oh, that's what was the problem, is I was breaking you from what you need to do and you're already overstimulated. Here goes somebody else stopping you. I was like, that makes sense. Man, you weren't rejecting.
She's that's so good.
She's really good at communicating, which helps. But so it's that conversation that helps you then know, oh, I was reading that wrong. I felt rejected. You weren't rejecting me. You were just rejecting something stopping you. So for men, feel free to have that conversation with your wife.
Big finish. We can talk about whatever we want for 5 minutes. Okay. So put our timer on. I don't know if you saw this or not, Alan, but I'd love to get your take. So, and the big finish, by the way, doesn't have to, be whatever you want. I just said that. Big finish. In the Olympics, there was a guy who was like alpine. What are the guys that like? They're not going downhill. They're not downhill skiers, but they're like cross country skiing or whatever. I think it's what he's doing. Anyway, he won a medal, and in the whole interview, they're like, "How do you feel?" And he started like crying. And he said, I feel so badly because I met somebody 6 months ago and she's the most beautiful, most wonderful woman ever. And 3 months ago, I cheated on her. And I just told her last week and I'm a total mess. And I want her back so badly. And I don't know if this is right to do or not. I miss her and I love her. Bro, what do you think about that? Like crying on like national, like during your medal, like, hey, you just won the thing or whatever.
All he cares about is just getting her back. He's down bad. I don't know. Wow. I didn't know about this.
Isn't that wild?
Now, my brain is going into very different directions because
totally. I thought the same thing.
She could be like, oh, he's so manipulative. Right?
And she could also be like, why are you bringing our stuff out into the open in front of like the entire world?
Yeah.
So like I thought about that.
Which very much shows who we're married to. That's where our brains go, because our wives will respond that way. Yeah. But there are women that would respond like, oh my gosh, he loves me so much.
He loves me so much that
that's all he cares
about. And that's
what
I was thinking is on the flip side, well, you know, he was shooting his shot. Like he probably screwed it up.
You'd have to know him better. Yeah. Know her.
You'd have to know the situation.
Like, oh, dude would never do this. Yeah. Like if it's like that, then you're like, oh, this is genuine. This is real.
But like the comments, bro, you should go look this up later. Like the comments are wild. Most of them are
for her,
like firing at him.
Screw this guy.
Like, like, what's your problem? You know, you screw her over and then you act like you're the martyr, because now it's a situation.
What you should have just done is said, I love you so much, so, and just left it there. Yeah. Don't tell the whole world about cheating on her.
Yeah. Because like I feel like it almost put her in a situation, and I don't know if he did it on a whim or if he
pressure.
planned
You
it.
just added pressure.
But like you know what everybody wanted him to do initially was to forgive, or her to forgive, because it's like
he's forgive him. Come on,
he shows you how much he loves you. It's manipulation, though, and I don't actually. He was so sincere. He was not trying to manipulate. It didn't
I don't know
like
him.
it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to know.
He put her in an awkward situation, because now the initial comments were all like, "Oh, you know, you got to forgive him," like But as it went on, and she actually ended up speaking.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, she ended up speaking. And was like, I can't remember what she said, but something along the lines of, "I'm just thankful for my friends and my family. They've been here for me, and like I really don't want to talk about anything else."
Yeah,
yeah.
Because now you made a spectacle of her. Like now she's being dragged. Probably by some people. I mean, if you're on the world stage, you have to know people get death threats over stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because there's crazy people out there.
Yeah.
So like you just put her in danger and you're asking her to take you back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's messy.
So I thought it was a wild situation. I just think like how, even in my own marriage, like how do you, it's so important to think through like what you're going to say. But like in our media age, the digital age,
to know.
Bro, like
don't bring it out there.
You just like keep it behind closed doors. Like that, like just keep that stuff in the shadows. And then if you want to be a united front and come together and agree, but like he was so
you put her in a high pressure situation.
Yeah.
You have in that situation, you have no right to do anything like that puts the onus on her. Yeah. Like, all right, now ball's in your court.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's from a good place. Like for a female, it's just gonna be. Or for a woman, it's just gonna be like, bro, you're just a messy guy. Like you don't make good decisions.
Yeah.
Now you're just 3 months in, you cheated on me.
Now you're telling
the whole world.
Yeah.
Like you're just not a good decision maker. At this
you just solidified for me that I don't need to be with you.
Yeah, it's from a sincere place, but I'm sure it was a sincere place when you cheated on me too.
Yeah.
Like you thought you liked that girl.
Well, and also like
that's crazy.
Think about the next woman for him.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what am I getting myself into? Tough. So men, we gotta like
next episode we're gonna have him on so we could do a counseling session, a coaching session with the.
Oh, that'd be so good.
All right, well that was the big finish. I really that's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
What's y'all's take? See you guys on the next episode of the Patros Podcast. Thanks for joining us on this one.